Hey everybody, so I wanted to make this video and upload it very quickly to show you a way that you can very quickly modify the guy lines on your tent to make your tent a lot more user-friendly and much easier to pitch and adjust after you get it pitched. I am going to post a link in the description to another video who gave me the idea for this. Now his setup was a little bit more complicated and I think it's unnecessary for most people. So I'm going to kind of show you what I did because it's a lot faster and much easier to get going. So I'm going to show you kind of from a wide angle first, to show you the entire purpose of this. This is the Big Agnes Copper Spur HVUL3. And the problem with this tent is that it has guy lines that don't really have much adjustment in them by way of length. Inevitably what happens is you go to set it up and you're gonna end up with something like this. Now, there's not much distance in there between the mesh on the inside and the rainfly. And because there's not a lot of distance between these two, throughout the night as you move around, you're probably going to end up pushing that mesh up against this rainfly, and you're going to get some condensation on the foot box of your sleeping bag. The entire point of this modification is to allow you to pitch this properly, and to do that, you need some adjustment in this guy line, and you also need it basically just to be a lot longer. This is 2mm Z-line cord from Z-Packs. And these are the Line Lock 3 adjusters that I also ordered from Z-Packs. So I'm gonna give you a close-up here to show you how I kind of set this up, but let me just kind of demonstrate what it allows you to do. If you set this kind of at the longest or close to the longest, I can get this staked all the way out here. That's gonna create, down here, you're looking at probably 18 inches between the rainfly and the mesh. There is no way that just through normal, rolling around throughout the night, that you are ever going to come in contact with this rainfly. Not only that, but you're gonna get a lot better ventilation because you're creating a much bigger gap in here. If you don't want that much ventilation, you can always shorten this up and you can pitch it kind of where, you can pitch it almost up to the original spot if you want it, but you have all of this adjustment in it. Not only that, once you pitch it, this material kind of sort of stretches out on its own a little bit after you pitch it. So it's nice just to be able to tug on this and make it snug after you've had it set up for 5-6 hours and maybe a little bit of the slack has come out of it. You don't have to move the stake. You don't have to make any other adjustments other than this right here. So it's really handy. How do you make this modification? So it's really easy. Basically what you're gonna do is you have two different pieces of cord. This cord over here that attaches to the tent is one piece, and then this cord over here with the loop on the other end, this is where the tent stake would actually go. This is a separate piece of cord. So there's two pieces of cord that make up this little part right here. So the piece of cord here on the outside where the adjustment is, all you do is take a piece of cord. I would say that before I put the loops in this entire piece of cord here is maybe, 20 inches. You can set your tent up, set it up in your family room, set it up outside, see how long you want it, depending on how far you want to pull this out from the mesh wall. I just tied a bowline or bowline, however you want to pronounce it. I've heard it both ways. This would be where the tent stake goes. And then over here, you just run it through the line lock. There are plenty of videos that show you how to use a line lock. You just run it up through the bottom, down through the front. And I just put a little loop on the end of this so it can't pull itself back through. It gets stopped on that little knot that I put in there. And this is where you basically make your adjustment, okay? And then I just untied the guide line that came with the tent that was attached to this little burgundy loop. Basically, I took another piece of cord and I attached it with a bowline knot up here. As you can see, this bowline's a little bit bigger than it needs to be, obviously. It gives me a little extra cordage. You can make it as small as you want to. This, like I said, is a little bit big. And then I loop it through this side of the Line Lock 3. And I'm actually gonna show you how to do that. Take a piece of cord like this, put a loop in it. You loop this up through the bottom piece like this, all the way over the front. I'm doing this through the viewfinder, and then all the way around the back. You just pull this and there's the loose end right here. So now you've got this attached, and this doesn't in any way impede on the adjustment portion of the line lock, which is, this hole right here and then this one in the front. So this is basically just this part right here is all that is. So then you would just take this piece over here and connect it to the burgundy piece, the burgundy tie on the rainfly. And then you've got that end. Is it gonna weigh a little bit more? Yeah, but honestly, who cares? I would much rather be able to properly pitch my tent. There's also one other modification I'm going to show you over on the vestibule side. Let's look at that now. You get this on Z-Pac's website, this little attachment. I forget what it's called. Just look under the accessories, you'll find it. It's basically this little double loop piece of metal attached to a Line Lock 3. And for this modification for the vestibule, you are only going to need one piece of cord. Let's take a look at that really quickly. Okay, so over here, this is the exact same concept. The vestibule on this tent comes with these two little loops. You just take that little metal hook piece that I showed you, and you hook each side to each loop. And again, same concept. This just gives you more length, it gives you more adjustment. I can pull this out much farther, get a much tighter pitch. And then I also have this adjustment left in it that I can use after the slack comes out of it. So exact same concept, except this only requires one piece of cord instead of two. If you guys found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. I do have a trip coming up in 2 weeks in Olympic National Park. We are doing the Seven Lakes Basin, the High Divide Loop, and I will be filming that. It'll probably be up sometime in the 3rd or 4th week of September.